Hello everybody, welcome back to LilyLuLou. My name's Karen, I'm the Junk Journal Geek, and a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining me today. So you can see, if you're a regular visitor, I'm in a different place at the moment. I'm starting the November Journal Monthly, which is a series created by Claire over at Purple Poppy, and I will link her video in the description below. And I'm just gathering my bits together to get started. So I'm doing it out on my kitchen table, so I've got some room. It's horrible weather, it's really dark outside. The lighting's awful, so wherever I record, it's going to be bad. I do apologise. And I'm going to have to pause this to go away and prep the next part of the video. So I thought I'd just do this now, and then when I come back, I'll be at my desk as I normally am. With all these bits ready. So Claire has, well, she threw me a curveball really. I was expecting a nice, simple, easy project, and not that I'm saying this is going to be tricky or difficult, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. She's doing a tall, thin journal, and I've never made a tall, thin journal before, and I have wanted to, so it's great, but I didn't think I had any kits that would work for a tall, thin journal. So I went and had a rummage. Claire used a manila folder for hers, which I don't have, but I've got a whole pack of these, just simple craft colour. These are just these simple folders. So I went up in the loft and grabbed one of those, and I got out a box of my box of Christmas stuff from last year while I was up there. And then I went through all my papers that are filed. These papers are in like an accordion folder type storage thing that I've had from when I very first started journaling. So these papers are years and years old, printed on my old printer. I believe these are from Antique Papery, and I believe they are retired. I don't think you can get them anymore, so I apologise I'm using papers that you can't get, but I'm just showing you that I've literally just shopped my stash, and I'm pulling stuff out that I already have to make this journal. So these are the papers I'm going to be using, because they're all sort of portraits rather than the landscape type we would usually use. And all I have done, I've got my folder, and as I say, this is a normal file folder, so it doesn't meet edge to edge, but I'm okay with that. And then I've just scored halfway down. I folded this back, scored that so it will fold nicely, and then I've done the same on the other side, scored there and folded that back that way. So because what we're going to be doing is in the middle here have a fatter signature, and in these, this one at the front and this one at the back, Claire's put slimmer signatures. So I've already scored that and folded that ready to go. So what I need to do is cut these papers down, obviously to get rid of all the white, and I also need to cut this down to the height that is going to be suitable to work with my papers. So I'm just going to chop a bit off the end here. And then what I also need to do is find some fabric to strengthen these where the signatures are going to go. Can't think of the word. So while I was rummaging through, I found this bag of Christmas bits and pieces. This is bunting that I have been making. I'm not joking, I must have been in the process of making this for about 10 years. It's almost finished, so maybe I'll get it done this year. And if you are interested in that, that pack was from Mandy Shaw, Dandelion Designs. She's online, so you could grab that if you wanted to. Anyway, that was in with my pile of fabrics. And if you are a regular visitor, you may remember last year I made December dailies for my girls, and I used an old pillowcase, and I found all these strips that I had left over from making that, and I think by the time I've cut this down, these will work for my strengthening my binding. So I'm hoping that I've got enough here that are wide enough to do that. If not, I've got some other fabrics here, but I thought it would be nice to use up these old scraps. So I'm going to go away now and cut my papers. I need to cut this down to the size I want it to be, and then I'm going to choose which papers I want where and cut them down to fit each panel, and then I will be back. So I will see you momentarily. I'm back again. It's actually a few hours later now, but I think I've got myself organised, she says, looking for her cover. Oh dear. Right, oh yeah, there it is. So I cut the cover down to roughly that, so that it would fit the papers better. I'm really sorry about the camera angle. I am back at my normal desk. I'm just going to try and move you a bit. I just can't quite get the camera where it usually is. That's a bit better. I hope that's all right for you. So I've covered out, no, I haven't covered. I've cut out panels to go on each of these sections, and I've numbered everything so that hopefully I don't go astray. And I've started pulling together some pages, which is, I was just about to go and get some more papers, and I got interrupted and I've forgotten to do that. But anyway, we'll worry about that later. So I'm going to start just sticking on these panels onto here. And all I've done is just cut them out slightly smaller than each panel of the fold. And then I've just inked around the edges. When I did all that first, and then I cut the file folder down to the length I wanted, and it became apparent that it wasn't actually square to start with. So I've squared that up, and then I've not double checked all my paper pieces, so I'm hoping that they will all still fit okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. It is a junk journal that's not on straight. I mean, we would like to get it straight-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we don't want to be completely wonky, do we? That looks like that's going to be as straight as I can get it. So that's my front. Yeah, so each of my panels, the way I've cut and scored and folded and used the original fold, each one was a slightly different size. So I've numbered them in the hope that it will all still fit together properly. So how are you all? I hope you are all well and you are not suffering too much with Storm Kieran. The day before yesterday, I'm filming this on Saturday, and I'm hoping that this will go up on Saturday. So Thursday, we were actually flooded in. I no longer have my big 4x4 car that died a few weeks ago, and we had agreed that once it came to the end of its life, we would get rid of it. I mean, I know it could have been repaired actually, but it was very old. It had a lot of miles on it. It wasn't very old really, but it had a lot of miles on it. And we had agreed that we wouldn't repair it again or replace it. You know, we wouldn't do anything expensive, and we wouldn't buy another car for me. So my husband has his car for work. I've always driven, you know, quite a big car, because the girls and I used to be going up and down to London, you know, up to 3 times a week for hours on end. We had a big 7-seater that was comfy, and then it changed to a big, it was only a 5-seater, but it was still a big 4x4. Anyway, that died. We haven't got it now. So we've only got, my daughter's only got a tiny little car, and my husband has got, you know, a more economical car for driving up to London every day. So they are small cars, low to the ground, and every time it rains here, we get flooded. Our back garden's permanently flooded all through the winter. And last year we had a situation where whichever way you drove out of our village, there's a main, we live on the main road in and out of the village, so you come out and you can go left or right out of the village. But then you can, if you turn right, you can turn right again to go to the nearest big main road, or you can carry straight on. And whichever way we went last year, we had to drive through floodwater, which was fine because we could just take my car. We don't have my car now. So this week, on Thursday, with the flooding, my daughter went out to go to work. Luckily, my husband he had a day off that day. And literally 5 minutes later, she was home again because the floodwater was too deep for her to drive through. You know, some cars can get through, and vans and things, and bigger cars, but her car couldn't get through. So it was actually quite nice on Thursday because all 4 of us were at home, which never happens. And, you know, it's like a bonus day off. So the girls had got the Christmas jigsaw puzzles out to start, and I did a bit of crafting, worked on my daughter's wedding invitations, and it was a nice, you know, chilled, relaxed day. This one I meant to cut down a bit more before I stuck on, and I forgot. I put the glue on, and it's too long for that panel, but we're going to go with it. So it was actually quite a nice day, and then yesterday everything had calmed down a little bit, so my daughter got to work, my husband got to work okay, and he's on nights. So he got home this morning and he said he didn't think he was going to make it home because the floods were so bad. He's just gone off again. And my daughter's gone to work, and she messaged me when she got to work and she said, I've got to work, but if it doesn't stop raining, I don't think I'm going to be able to get home. So, and of course it hasn't stopped raining. It's been absolutely tipping it down all day today. So I'm not convinced my daughter is going to get home from work this evening. Luckily, she works within walking distance of where my mum lives, so she can walk to my mum's and stay there the night, or she could walk to the train station and get the train home. Right, that one's far too long. So I need to trim. I'm just deciding whether I want to take some off the top or some off the bottom. Maybe I should do a little bit of both. So how long is that? I'm not going to go to the trimmer. I will just do it here with my craft knife. So that's about, it's just over 10 inches tall. So I shall want this to be about 9.5 inches tall. Where's my knife? I did just have my knife before I turned the camera on. There it is. So we'll trim this down a bit and re-ink it. How big is it at the moment? Oh, it's quite a lot bigger. think that's straight. So if I take that bit off there, that did look like a lot. My measuring is just, look what I've done, just up the wall at the moment. Never mind, we'll just do that. I'm sure I just measured that. I'm having one of those days today. I don't know why, but everything's going a bit haywire. My printer is really playing up. I love my printer. The printer I had before was all right when it was new, but it became a bit of a nightmare. And I got my new printer. I think I've had it over a year, but I'm not actually sure. No, I'm sure I've had it over a year, but I'm not sure if I've had it 2 years. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how long printers last for everyone else, but anyway, I was printing out a kit actually on Thursday when we were all at home with not much to do. I was trying to print out the kit for my next design team project, and I set it all up to, you know, merrily print away while I went off to do other things. And when I checked on it, everything was printing yellow. So I've checked the ink levels, they were fine. I've done, you know, done all the checks, everything seems okay. So I've run the, clean the print heads and all that rubbish. Right, so this is what we've got at the moment. This is my front cover. This is where the big journal will be. And then this is the back where the 2 smaller journals are going to go. So I think that looks quite nice. Yes, I've done my clean my print heads. I've done a deep clean, you know, I've gone through the cycle 3 times to get the maximum clean. Did a test print, seemed okay. Started printing out my design team pages again. A little bit suspect by the time it got to the end, but I didn't take any notice. Then today, while I was away, these papers that I already had printed out that I showed you earlier, I thought, oh, I'll back them with my scanned tea-dyed papers, you know, so that they're not just plain white on the back. So I've popped them in the printer and it's all printing yellow again. So I've managed to stop it, and the ones that were yellow on the back, I've stuck them back to back. So it's cut down on the number of pages that I've got for my journal, but I think it will be all right. So yeah, I'm having a bit of a nightmare with my printer. I think I need to sit down and concentrate and work out what's going on with it. But it's, you know, it's not the end of the world as far as my journals go, although obviously it's going to be a bit tricky doing my design team projects if I can't actually print the kits out. But I'm in the middle of doing my daughter's wedding invitations, which is going to be a problem. So I don't quite know what I'm going to do about that. You can see a new printer being on the cards. So yes, I have stuck these together. I should have left them a bit longer probably before I folded them, but now I think Claire said that she had 5 papers in the middle one. So this one's going to obviously need to be trimmed down a bit more. And then I can't remember how many papers. No, she had 5 papers in the smaller ones. And then I can't remember how many she had in the bigger one, but I'll go back and check. Not that I have to do it exactly the same, but just so that we've got a guide. So some of these papers are double-sided where they're stuck together, and some are single-sided where my printer didn't play ball, but we'll just go with it. Then I've got some like, look at that doggy, isn't he cute? Where's that going to come if I fold it? Oh, it's going to be all right. I've got some oldie type paper that I might use to put some extra sheets in here, because I don't think I have any tea dyed paper. And again, I'm going to have to trim some of these pages a bit more, but I'll do that off camera and re-ink them. That's supposed to be my middle set, isn't it? The reason I'm paying attention to what I've got where is because I've got 2 copies of some pages, so I want to make sure they're all in separate signatures. So that's my middle one, and then this one will go in the back. So I know Claire put an envelope in each of the little signatures, so I shall hunt around for an envelope off camera to go in here, and I can't remember what else. Oh, I'm going to go right through the middle of the pussycat, but I didn't. Oh, maybe I could. Maybe we could have Santa that way. It's not. Yeah, let's. Right, we'll put the pussycat in the middle then. So far we've got 3 in each, but we. Oh no! Look, I've put the pussycat with the pussycat. That needs to change. So that one needs to go there, and that one needs to go there. What's in the middle there? I'm going to swap that round. I'm going to put Santa in the middle. So that's that, and that's that. So what I need to do now is add my fabric to reinforce where these folds are. So let's find those strips of fabric that I had out earlier, and my fabric glue, which is here, and see what's occurring here. So I need 1, 2 and 3. Definitely need 3. I don't know if I've got enough to go back and do each fold, but I'll tell you what I did forget to grab was my pinking shears. But let's cut this seam off. Now the next design team project that I've got to do, which I have printed out next to me, has a page in it that when I was printing it out reminded me of this fabric that I used for my girls' journals last year. I thought, oh, I wonder if I've still got any of that fabric to use in that project. And obviously these strips are not going to be enough to use in this project. Sorry, in that project. But I'm wondering if I have some more of this pillowcase anywhere. I'm just going to grab my pinking shears. Right, now I'm just wondering how wide this needs to be. It doesn't, I mean, I don't know how wide it needs to be to do the job, but I don't want it too wide because I don't want to be hiding the papers. So I'm just going to cut along this line. So we'll have that on there. I know it's a bit wonky, but I can't cut fabric straight, which is why I usually tear it. So I'm not sure that this entirely goes with these papers, but I don't have anything else to hand. I don't think that would go better. The Christmas fabrics I've got are all too childish, if you know what I mean. They're more fun. these. I better cut these first to make sure I've got enough in case I do have to find different fabric. So then that's going in there. This one goes in here. How wide was that one? Just over an inch. Okay, so we've already got the pinked edge on one side. So if I cut that along this line, it would probably cut straighter if I actually ironed the fabric as well. So that piece can go there. It's very tactile, this fabric. It's brushed cotton. So then we want a piece in the middle there. Will that just be wide enough? How wide is that narrowest point? It's just barely an inch and that edge isn't pinked. So do I have another section? Can probably work with that one just. So let's pink this edge. I wish I could cut straight. This is why I don't use scissors. It's the guillotine and tearing stuff. Again, that's going to be barely wide enough there. But if you struggle with things like this, at least you can see you're not alone. And if you don't struggle with things like this, you're probably cringing and going, what is she doing? Right. Well, we have 3 pieces, so let's glue them down. I'm just wondering whether it's best to glue the fabric or the paper. You know, to put the glue on the fabric or the paper. There it is. Are any of you working on this journal monthly? I'd love to see some pictures if you are. Hopefully that'll be enough. That's that one. That's gone all over me. Dearie me. Right, well, they're on. Got a bit of seepage coming through there, so I'll just grab that. And I think that is as far as Claire got. I don't think she did anything else, but I am trying to do this from memory, so I could be wrong. But I think I will leave that there for today. So we have the starts of the signature to go in that one, and the start of the signature to go in that one. And then depending on, you know, what else I find paper-wise, there will be more in there. And then we have the big signature to go in the middle here at the back. But I don't want to fold this up again because I want to leave this open to let the the fabric glue dry. So I will leave that there for now. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this interesting. Before I come back next week, hopefully I will have the pages trimmed to the right size, and I will have pulled together the other papers, you know, to make the signatures more full, and then we'll carry on from there. So thanks for watching. Take care, look after yourselves, stay dry, and enjoy your own crafty time. Bye-bye.